Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It is January 9th, 2022. These are the Charles Perry, Dave Roberson, Matt Powell, Josh Burson, Joe Chadwick, Calvin, Stalker Podcast is allegedly and apply the but-for standard, the reasonable person standard, but for them stalking, harassing, trying to coerce, witness tamper, subjugate. If she doesn't mind, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. How do you have time on your hands for that? Don't you work? Don't you have something better to do than bother me? So, but for that, there wouldn't be a need for podcasts or anything else for that matter. And apply the reasonable person standard. What would any reasonable person do when somebody's trying to ruin their life? And subjugate and rape and do every immoral, unethical, illegal thing under the sun. We assert all constitutional rights. So, Mr. Perry has continued to contact me when I've asked him to quit it. Continued to invade my privacy when I've asked him to stop it. Continue to harass and bother and harass and bother, thinking that's power. You are the biggest girl I've met in my life. I don't like you, sir. I don't have any feelings for you but deep, deep disgust. You are the nastiest, grossest thing, monster, cancer, pussy, smelly piece of trash on the planet in my head. I moved twice to get away from you. No, actually, I moved 4 times to get away from you, Mr. Perry. And Mr. Roberson, so you were just recorded telling somebody, just get her on the murder. Just get her with something. Just subjugate her somehow. You got one victim talking and you continue to commit crimes, you're going to have more victims. There are more victims. You don't know who gives me that information. You don't know how they get it to me. But what you do know is when Mr. Perry contacts me, when he peeps and hacks, when he causes a problem, when he causes drama, and everything's a thing. What should take 1 minute or 10 minutes takes hours. Everything's a misery with him and you, Roberson. When you guys take my money, you get caught. You get told on and told on and told on. Get a ringtone. Get her, frame her on a murder. Get her shoe print. You're recorded and recorded and recorded and recorded. You don't know how many undercovers you've talked to over the years, do you? You have not a clue, Roberson. But we get this last night because you, Mr. Perry, are still bothering me. I don't like you and I'm not going to talk to you. And that's what this was about. The guy told, I don't know who it was. It's maybe Powell. I'm talking to you for 30 minutes, sir, and I still have yet to hear what she's done to you. What I'm hearing is that you're doing stuff to her and she's talking about it. So get back to me when when she's actually doing something to you. Men are disgusted by you guys, all of you. Mr. Roberson, I get that you got your feelings hurt and you're mad because you didn't get your way and you're used to bullying everybody into your, submission, and you're not used to this. You and Calvin are not used to somebody fighting you back. You're used to subjugating women. You too, Perry. And but you got 40 men that are helping me that you don't know who the fuck they are. I've gone over, you make your phone calls and you're not getting any information. Boo fucking who? You're not gonna get any information. They don't even trust cops because you guys buy cops. So even a cop can call around. They're not gonna get any information because you guys buy cops. They don't want anything to get to you. There's no possibility that's gonna happen. If they wanted to, to take your money and subjugate, they would have popped out. The need to know would not be a need to know, would it? So, this we got last night. Roberson, thank you for fucking with me. You and Calvin. Pissed them off, they got this. Perry just wants to talk to her. Perry, I said no. No means no. You need to grow up and act like a man. You are pathetic. You embarrass the shit out of me because you're pathetic. Power is in service. Go serve your people. You're an elected official. Go fucking act like one. Get some dignity. Get some class, all of you. You are disgusting. All of you are disgusting to everybody else. Everybody else is sick and tired of you. Unless, you're on the payroll, ask those guys to do the same thing for free. They're not going to do it for free. Dead Lucky and almost dead framed Mike, Mr. Roberson, has a lot of people really pissed off. So the things that you're used to seeing happen before, subjugation, submission, you're not going to see it now. Not with cops. You pissed off cops all over the country. Don't know who you are and don't care. To everybody else, you're a monster. When you do things that are illegal, the illegal act is offensive. You're outside social norms. You're deviant. And people tend not to like it when you do that. And if you do things people don't like, they're not going to like you. They're not going to help you. Not like you want them to. I don't want to have a talk with you, Perry. If you're trying to do another false arrest so you can sit me in a room and tell me what I'm going to think and what I'm going to feel and what I'm going to do, you think wrong, sir. You're caught again. You get caught every time you guys try to fuck with me. Roberson was just recorded. Just get her on a murder. Just frame her on that murder. I don't kill people. That's not my way. That's your way. That's your way. So this last night, the guy actually said it. Charles just wants to talk to her. He's going to force himself on her. Because, if you have power, you can get a date. You can get a date without having to gunpoint, hold somebody at gunpoint, Perry. You act like I'm 12 and I've not been around any other men but you. You need to quit lying to yourself. Quit bullshitting yourself. You know what? When I met you, I was, 40-something? So, I was around a lot of men, famous men, actually, Mr. Perry. I used to party with famous men in Vegas. I've worked with surgeons. I've worked with elected officials. I know how men are to behave. You need to, fucking leave me the hell alone. I'm not going to talk to you. I don't want to. If you want to confess to murder, then fine, do that. Otherwise, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to help you. No one's helping you because you keep getting caught. This person, whoever was having this conversation last night, I've been listening to you, sir, for half an hour. I have yet to hear what it is she's done to you. It sounds like you're doing a lot of stuff to her, and she's reacting to it. Normal reaction to an abnormal situation. You are pathetic, all of you. You're bullying. You're harassing, you're breaking every RICO law in the book. You're breaking every single one. If you weren't cowards, you'd face me in court like men. Instead, a bunch of little girls scared to let me talk. There's something to tell. Everybody has said that. They won't let her in court because she's got something on these guys. And you're already caught. Do you not get that? Are you that slow? It's so embarrassing, Perry, that you're that slow. I don't like you. I don't want to talk to you. I said no. I moved twice to get away from you, and only a few people knew that you were stalking me. So you could have just gone on with your life, left me alone, and not needed to cover up now. But you didn't, because you're stupid. All of you. So you stalk, you harass, you stalk, you harass, you stalk, you harass, try to bully, try to subjugate, and you want me to lie, and I said no. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be your girlfriend. I don't want anything to do with you. You make me want to throw up. You're delusional, you're wackadoodle, you need to see a doctor, all of you. All of you. Stop bullshitting yourself, Charles. There's nothing there. You look ridiculous. You look ridiculous. You sit around and live in pretend world every day. A 1-year-old little girl can do what you do. You're embarrassing to me. You fucking embarrass me. You embarrass me because you're stupid. You embarrass me because you're delusional. You embarrass me because you're a weirdo. I've been around a lot of men that know how to treat women, that have the power to get people by attracting, not bullying. And you don't have that. I moved twice to get away from you. I moved from Lubbock to the Dallas area, from the Dallas area to Oklahoma. And when in Oklahoma, from Sepulpa to Manford, from Manford to Tulsa. You are fucked up, twisted, mentally twisted. You guys think up stuff that we're like, wow, no normal person could do that with a gun to their head. The weird ass bullshit y'all come up with. Your minds are fucked bad. So you piss us all off, we get more of these. Can get a ringtone. Frame her for the murder. We've been collecting cigarettes from her work for years to plant. We've been taking her clothes for years to plant. And you have, God knows how many cigarettes. I mean, we sat there and watched you. The waitress and I sat there and watched y'all collect my cigarette butts. And went, golly. There was 2 waitresses. The other waitress was helping. We sat there and watched you collect them and collect them and collect them. And I was like, I can't wait to see what they're going to do with that. Trying to get my lighter. Trying to do, lie. And 20 people would come in and go, how tall are you and what's your shoe size? That isn't a normal question for a customer to ask. Terry asked it, Mr. Roberson, Terry Wagner. That's another reason I knew he worked for you. I didn't send him on his way right away, did I? I sting-opped him. You guys have been sting-opped too, but you're not good at it like I am. Undercovers. How many have you talked to that you don't know anything about? I also explained that, you act like this is like, there's just nothing there. But I got this. I know you've been calling TPD, demanding they arrest me for something. I know you've been calling them, demanding they just frame it for the murder. I know you have. We heard the recordings of it. I heard him. Who has those recordings? What court have they already been played in? Because you want to play those if you need probable cause, because now we need a wiretap order on this guy or that guy who's now joined this deal. Who the fuck do you think you're kidding, Roberson? Calvin? See, you're seeing things you've not seen before, right? I'm the bait. Somebody goes up behind you and shoots your ass with a harpoon every time you go at me. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, you get told on. When you contact me and cause a problem for me or try to take something from me or try to hurt me or a threat, you get told on and told on and told on and told on. And you act like you like that. You act like that's your goal. That 6 years ago, you sat down and your goal was to get caught. More than ever in your life, in your criminal activity. You're one weird son of a bitch. Embarrassingly weird. There's a reason all guys do not do what you do. They don't peep. They don't hack. They don't do the weird ass. You do some weird ass shit. Like I said, no normal person could even think of, much less do. And you are an embarrassment. You're offensive. Get a grip on reality. Take your skirt off. Wipe the lipstick off your face. Put your doll down. And go be a man, please. Go do something manly today. Go be with your family. Go be normal. Mr. Perry, go be normal. You've bossed me around and bossed me around and bossed. You need to go. Go. No. I said no. I said no. You and I are not a couple. Get a grip on reality. I'm repeating myself again today. Do you have Alzheimer's? I think you have Alzheimer's, sir. Because we have to repeat the same thing over and over and over and over. And it still doesn't click for you. And nobody understands why the fuck that is. There's a whole world of normal people, Mr. Perry, that are deeply offended by you. There's a whole world of cops that don't know or care who the fuck you people are. There's a whole world of cops pissed off about what you did to Lucky and Mike. I guess Lucky was supposed to come into my work and just confirm my work there, and he and I talked, and everybody's like, oh my, you know, I don't know if he told people or not, nor do I care. That's not even relevant. What's relevant is he did ask me about a forged marriage license, and he did tell me he had told you guys to stop taking my money. He didn't want people in his town inconvenienced because you want to get out of a lawsuit, is what he said he told you. And that's not how we treat women. That's what he said. I told them if you were mugged, 5 people would attack you and get her money back for her. What's the difference in what you're doing? Leave me the fuck alone. When you don't, you get told on. You act like that's what you want. That's what you like. We got all that last night, Mr. Perry. You've been talking for half an hour. I don't hear one thing that she's done to you. I hear you're doing a lot of shit to her. And she's reacting to it. So when you get something that she's just doing to you, unprovoked, let me know. Well, Perry just wants to talk to her. I think she said she didn't want to talk to him. And he's forcing himself on her. There's nothing. You're not entitled to a conversation, sir. Who the fuck do you think you are, Perry? Who the fuck do you think you are? Nobody owes you anything. You're pathetic. You need to grow up and act like a man. Take your skirt off, wipe the lipstick off your face, put your doll down, and go act like a man. Go be normal. Act like a fucking man. Quit singing your "somebody done me wrong" song. And grow. You act like Neil here. You're worse. You're dangerous. So the guys that get me this, Perry, are pissed off at you every time you contact me. Every time you cause a problem for me. Every time you take my money. Every time you call around and badmouth me to somebody. Every time David Roberson calls TPD and goes, just get her on the murder. Just subjugate her. We're not used to this. Do it again. And you'll get recorded again. Gotta get a ringtone. Gotta get a shoe print. Recording after recording. Gotta get her car from her. How much is the mileage on that car? How much gas she have? I've heard so many recordings of you guys. It is ridiculous. The only thing holding us up now, my guy said, do you want us to get him now, or do you mind if we wait till after campaign so we can start getting undercovers around these men? Because there's this, and this I need to get them to talk about. I said, do that. Make them feel like me, like they made me feel every time I went to work, worried to say anything to anybody that might be twisted, that might be, misconstrued. Find out where I live. Yeah, legitimately. I don't think there was any legitimate way, but I was always very careful about that. Not talking about where I live. What car does she drive? Go in that club and ask her what car she drives. Which one of those is hers. Tell her you do this and you do that, mechanic, something. Now you do it. You deal with it. I'm good at a sting op and you're not. So you meet people, David, and you're not sure if it's an undercover or who it is. You meet people, Charles, and you figure out, is this an undercover cop or is this just somebody? You do it. That's what's going to happen in this next week. I don't want to talk to you, Charles. I don't. You're a butt in nothing. You're a pathetic nobody to me. You're a deeply depraved, disturbed criminal that we all want locked up. Because all you've done is cause misery. All you've done is cause hardship. All you do is troublemaker, David. All of you. You and Calvin. Boy, it's something. You guys are something. Subjugate. Violently subjugate her. Make her have a conversation she's made very clear she doesn't want to have. Weirdo. Icked and slimed all over everybody. And we're all sick of it. The guys that got me that in jail, you're dealing with them. It's not just me. I can't do that by myself. There's no possible way. There's no possible way. Over and over and over, I've quoted your recordings. I've quoted your recordings. I've quoted your recordings. When you fuck with me, you get caught. When you fuck with me, you get caught. A 6-year-old could have got the cause and effect the third time it happened. Here we are, 6 years into this, and y'all, it's going right over your heads. Things don't click for you, do they? Things do not click for you, do they? Look, I don't know who it is you think you're fooling. I'd like a list of names. I'd like a list of names of people you think you're fooling. I do not want to talk to you, Charles. I don't want to talk to you. I've asked you to leave me the fuck alone. Since 2014, sir. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the hell alone. If you have power, you can get a date. Without holding somebody to gunpoint. So if you can't get a date by attracting a woman to you, shut the fuck up about your power. I don't think you have any. Men of power, I promise you Ted Cruz isn't sitting around on his fat lazy ass watching people who have a life pretending. Tommy Tuberville isn't either. You don't have power. You're a coward. You're a pussy. And you're worthless. And I don't like you. And I don't want to talk to you. Ever. From 2011 to 2014, you had 4 years that I kept my mouth shut. You had that long to control yourself, and you wouldn't need a lie, and you wouldn't need a cover-up. I then moved. I then moved again. And then I said something, so that I don't end up like Chandra Levy. Get her on the freeway, so we run her off the road. Over and over, recording after recording after recording, thousands of them. Who has them? What court have they already been played in? What court have they already been played in? Let's say, for example, you got a wiretap on one guy and you need one on another because you just brought some new guy into this. Okay, well, I'll let you ask your attorney how that works. Over and over. I'm quoting you. I got this, and you have no idea who and how and what and when is doing that. And then you have the nerve to call TPD and go, just get on the murder. And I heard you say it, David. Is that the goal that you had 6 years ago? The outcome we want is to get told on. The outcome we want is to get told on. Perry's outcome was, I want to be rejected and told on. I want to be rejected and told on. You guys are one big ball of misery that everybody just wants gone. We just want to have a normal day where things go smoothly and everything's not a drama and everything's not stress and pressure to do something illegal, to do something wrong, to do something to hurt another person. And I get that you're a sociopath and you don't have those emotions. Everyone else does. You're trying to run a race with no feet, and we all have feet. You're pissing everybody the fuck off. When Charles contacts me in any way, shape, or form, I hate it. When he invades my privacy, when you guys sit around and have a meeting and figure out how to hurt me, when you try to subjugate, when you cause a problem, we get more and more and more. You piss people off. You piss the wrong people off. How did I get that puzzle, Charles? You're the butt end. You're the wannabe, never the wanted one. I do not want to talk to you. And that's what the guy said last night. Charles just wants to talk to her. Oh, so you want to throw her back in jail, set her down, and force a conversation with the man she can't stand. Nothing legal about that. I've been listening to you for half an hour. Please tell me what it is, sir. Get to the point. What is she doing to you? Because what I'm hearing is you're doing a lot of shit to her. She doesn't like that. She moved twice to get away from it. She doesn't owe Perry a conversation. No one owes any of you people anything. So she doesn't have to have a conversation with somebody she doesn't like. I don't like you, Perry. I don't like you. There's nothing to like. I've been around other men, famous men. I've partied with famous men. You get a life. Get a fucking life. Get some dignity and some class. Stop acting like a Jerry Springer show. Your, Taylor Swift song, Liz Taylor soap opera queen. Take your lipstick off and your skirt off, put your doll down, and go do something manly. And then you might find a woman that will like you. Roberson and Calvin, what in the fuck? The guys that got me this puzzle are pissed off right now. Like a motherfucker. I get you're used to bullying people and you get everybody to submit. You have 40 police officers that got me that just get pissed off and go at you. So, again, you're hitting a campaign season. Again, you want to subjugate me. And what's going to happen is you're going to have to go through the same thing I did. You're going to talk to people and you're not going to know which one is an undercover cop. They've talked to y'all before. You just didn't know it. As good as I am, in all that time I'm talking to Terry, did Terry know I knew he worked for you? When I'm talking to Gene and Travis Myers, did they know that was a sting up? I don't think anybody did. I had to tell everybody. I just linked Perry to that. Those two were trying to establish something for the harassment email plan. Because my emails didn't have shit to do with Michael's innocence or guilt. Nothing. Had nothing to do with that. I told Mitchell, after the 5th email with evidence attached, I don't want to bog you down with emails. I'm going to give you a Dropbox file, which he never looked at. Talk about not, dereliction of duty, a fiduciary, give your, vigorous defense. Jesus. So, you're caught. You're caught again and again and again every time you fuck with me. It's like that's what you want. I've never seen anything like it. Moth to the flame. You get burned, you go right back at it. You get burned, you go right back at it. You go burned, you go right back at it. You are disgusting, Perry. You have no chance of a date with me ever. You have to be normal to ride this ride, sir, and you can't do it. You can't do it for 5 minutes. There's a reason other guys don't peep and hack and sit around having a meeting and decide what problem to cause next, what fuck over, you're going to do next. And you guys keep getting caught more than ever in your lives, all of you. I have Calvin's name because he's recordings of you. Wiretap orders, leaks. I know you're trying to frame me for a murder because you're recorded talking about it. I know you're trying to get me on a jewelry scam with Terry because you were recorded talking about it. I know you're trying to get my car because you were recorded talking about it. Over and over and over more than ever in your lives. I know you wanted Manford police to arrest me. The 18th was a bust. Couldn't get your hands out of my wallet. So I couldn't even go. I heard you guys spent weeks planning that. Did you spend weeks planning that? And I didn't go. Over and over and over, you're caught. And you get nothing else out of it but that. Nothing else. I remember telling y'all straight up. I'm telling my guys, I'm like, they all want to know who you guys are. They're making a lot of phone calls to find out who you guys are. If they really wanted to know that, they'd have one guy come in and just talk to me and see if something didn't just come out on its own without sending people in to badger me. Where do you live? What car do you drive? What size shoe do you wear? How tall are you? All these weirdo questions no normal customer would even give a shit about or ask. They would do what I do. Just talk. Just let things come out. They'll come out. You don't have to push and shove and badger and bully. and make everybody feel uncomfortable and weird like these guys do. And I might actually slipped up. I might have let my guard down and slipped up. They had 6 years. Didn't even, we even told y'all. You still fucked it up. I mean, this is so easy, it's not even fair. So how many leaks do you have? How many people did you piss off and they're leaking? How many wiretap orders? You don't know. What all kind of orders are there? What courtroom? It's sealed. You won't find it. I think I gave the story of David and Goliath. David gets he's out shepherding his dad's sheep. Dad calls him and says, "Why don't you go out to the field? Why don't you go out to the field?" And where they're all fighting the Philistines, and take your brothers some food. So he does. He goes out there, and here's Goliath taunting and tormenting and taunting and tormenting, just like you do to me. Taunting and tormenting and taunting and tormenting. David's like, everybody's scared of him. And David's like, who is this who defies the armies of the living God? Who does this guy think he is? And the brothers are getting onto him like, get off your high horse. Who do you think you are? And he's like, dudes, I got this. I can take that guy down. Watch this. And he goes and he talks to Saul. Saul tries to put on the traditional armor. He tries to make him to be traditional. David's like, listen, you've got a whole army out there that's been trained in traditional fighting methods. And they're all wearing this armor that is traditional. And it's not working. Your giant is out there taunting and tormenting you. So we're going to do this the non-traditional way. Take your armor back. Thanks very much, but no thanks. We're going to do it non-traditionally. And we're going to kick this fucker's ass. He goes out there. He looks up to God and says, let's slay the dragon. Puts his rock in his slingshot. He tells Saul, I've been killing lions, tigers, bears that try to attack the sheep. All these years I've been doing it. Slaying dragons. I've got this. I can do it. Gets out there in the field, and he does it. He slays the dragon. He takes him down. Cuts his head off. Just like that. But it wasn't done traditionally. It was done legally, but not traditionally. Sometimes the traditional way blinds everybody. They're not seeing things they need to see. They're seeing the forest, but not the trees. You're dealing with some things you guys aren't used to seeing. Things that are non-traditional. But nobody's caught your crime like we have. No one. So Perry, when you start bossing me around, when you start telling me what you think, sir, remember who it is you're talking to. Remember who it is you're talking to. Because you're seeing things happen you've not seen before. Your own guy said when he pesters her, when he takes her money, we're seeing things happen we've not seen before. I'm afraid of what it is we're dealing with. If they can get me that, you better be afraid. If I know you just said, called up TPD, just get her on the murder. How much did you pay TPD, David? You don't think my guys already know the answer to that? Ask him to do the same thing for free. Be the bitch of a sex pervert and do it for free. See if they'll do it for free. See if they'll do it for free, David. Calvin. I shouldn't even know your name, Calvin, and yet I do. And yet I do. The more you fuck with me, the more you get caught and caught over and told on and caught and told on and caught and told on. I left Charles 8 years ago. Get the fuck over it, man. Move on. You have no chance of date with me. You gotta be normal to ride this ride. There's a reason other men do not behave like you behave in the disgusting, repulsive, nasty way you act that embarrasses the shit out of me and everybody else. You're pathetic. You're pathetic. Get a grip on reality. Stop making a fool of yourself. If you have power, then go find a date. Go find a woman that wants you back. I don't. I don't care what you want. I don't want you back. You're just Neil. That's all. A pest. If what you're doing isn't getting you the cover-up or a date, then why do you keep doing it? Because what you're getting out of that is you're giving us a whole lot of shit you didn't want anybody to know you were trying to do. That's all you've gotten out of this. Told on and recorded and caught and told on and recorded and caught and told on and recorded and caught. Mike was drugged. McNamara email. The Mike was drugged email. The harassment email. Mr. Perry, everybody in jail was pissed off at you. We're going to send her home, harass the hell out of her, and when she tells on us, we'll say she's harassing us. And that's what the thing over here was. Kinda. I'm hearing a lot of stuff that you're saying, you know, she's not harassing you. I'm listening half an hour here to you talk. You wasted half an hour of my time telling me what you're doing to her. She's reacting to it. You're provoking. Please, get to the fucking point. What is it she's doing to you? Because you're doing shit to her. She's reacting. Just like does this chick, is she the criminal or is Neil here? Pathetic Neil. Mr. I don't have any power. I can't even get a date the normal way. Neil. 4 years he did that to her. You've done it to me for 10, and you've made it much more dangerous. Mike was drugged. We got that information. Because my guys talked to some people in Escambia. It wasn't on the docket yet. It wasn't on the docket yet. The officers that gave me the Fabian puzzle, the McNamara email, that just, TPD, just frame it for the murder. We need a shoe print. We need a ringtone. All that shit. Nobody was supposed to know about that I know. Calvin's name, Blankenship's name, Desiree's name. Over on and on and on and on and on. Recording after recording after recording after recording after recording. Those guys that got all that from you to me went over there and started asking questions because it didn't look right. 6 days later. It didn't look right. Something was up. So before it even hits the docket in a deposition, I knew he was drugged. That's what you're fucking with. When you bother me, you get caught. When you bother me, you get told on. When you bother me, we all find out what you're trying to do. When you bother me, you get caught. And we say the same thing over and over and over and over, and things don't click for y'all, and it is embarrassing. A 6-year-old could have got the cause and effect the 3rd time it happened. And y'all just do it every fucking day, all day long. Thousands of recordings of you. And the only reason you're not in jail right now, because I got asked, do you want us to do it now, or can we use the campaign and just for the next few weeks go at all of them undercover? And then they won't know if they're talking to a regular person or one of us. And if I can sting up Mitchell and Myers and they had no idea that's what I was doing, nor did you, I had to tell you. They're a lot better at it than I am. I promise you, you won't have any idea. And then you go around worried about who you talk to and who, oh my God, if I say this or if I say that, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I did nothing wrong. You had people where I am asking me questions. How tall are you? What's your shoe size? Because you want to frame me for a murder. You want to do the McNamara email. Just different version. Because you fucked that one up. Where's my blood test, Mr. Perry? Where's the evidence of a political vendetta, Mr. Perry? Where's Michael Neely's blood test before the Narcan, Mr. Perry? Where's the marks on him? That looked like he was even in a fight at all, much less a deadly beatdown. Where is it? Produce it. Produce it, sir. When you shut up one victim, there'll be more victims, because you guys are repeat offenders. Calvin, David, Charles, get a life. Get a life. Write it down. When you fuck with me, you get told on. When you fuck with me, you get told on. This, David. Charles, where's my blood test? You obstructed justice. Where's my fucking blood test? Everybody wants to know who at TPD gave you my police report. Who gave it to you? I never asked that question. I never sought out that information. Now you got other people asking it. Who the hell gave them her police report, and where's the blood test? To rule out or confirm arsenic or whatever it was you were giving me. You giving me something. David texted that. Yes, I ain't giving you arsenic. So, you want to do this. You want to do it still. Because you fucked that one up. Because you didn't get the blood test. If you weren't poisoning me, Mr. Perry, you had held a big press conference, had a blood test. See, she lied. I tested her. There's nothing in her blood. Nothing. But you didn't do that. Instead, you made sure there was no test. You made sure there was no test. Mitchell and Myers, we're looking to get you something on that. Mr. Mitchell made up crap. I got all these emails because you harass people. I'm doing this for the men who committed the murder. I'm doing this for them. Mitchell and Myers did. In my deposition. We're just trying to, subject. We just need her to apologize. Charles just needs to talk to her. Yep, I said no. No means no. Stop raping me. Stop raping me. You're caught more than ever in your life, and no one knew what I was doing. I sting off them. I wanted, what my goal is, let's see if they're on the payroll or legit. I knew Mike had been drugged. I said it. Mike was drugged. He didn't do this. He slept through the whole thing. That's why he doesn't have a mark on him. You did that. You did that murder. And I linked you to them that way. Because they didn't ask me, how did you know? That should have been the question. Were they interested in their case, Michael Neely's murder trial? Their question would have been, how did you know before it hit the docket? Before anybody else said anything. How did you know? They never asked me. We were looking for that. We were waiting to see if they were going to ask me that question. And I didn't volunteer it up because I wanted them to ask me that question. If they're interested in the truth of what happened that night, that's the question they're going to ask. Why wouldn't they? Instead, Mitchell makes up some crap. Oh, I got all these emails from you. No, actually didn't. You got 5, sir. Then you got a Dropbox file. 1 you haven't even bothered to look in. Myers, is this your email, Ms. Ortiz? What do you do for a living? I'm a dancer. Are you a cop? I just said I'm a dancer. I just fucking said I'm a dancer, sir. Guess what? They can take me off the payroll just long enough to do the deposition. So when he says, are you a cop? I can say no. Or I can lie. They didn't swear me in. Or I could be working with law enforcement, not a cop. I'm going to tell you something. There's no way I could do fucking patrol. There's non-traditional. I can investigate the fuck out of anything. I can sting up anybody and they won't know that's what I'm doing. Those two didn't know. Had not a clue. Nobody did. I had to tell you. I'm going to link those two to your corruption, Perry, because you did that murder. Because if you didn't do that murder, you wouldn't give a shit. Random guy over in Ohio doesn't. He's not harassing me. He's not peeping and hacking. He's not demanding a conversation or an apology. You apologize for doing this to them. You owe everybody an apology. And I don't want to hear, for me, your other victims might want you to apologize. I don't. I don't. That would just piss me off. Because compared to the damage you've done, what would my life look like had I not met you, Mr. Perry? Had I been able to continue my career in politics, not lost my kids, what would not had to move, not had all my money stolen faster than I could make it, what would my life look like right now had you not ruined everything in it? What would it look like? You think I would have anything to do with you, and I'm sorry, would fix that? No. Oh, fuck no. That would make me slap the fuck out of you. I mean, maybe somebody else wants it. One of your other victims wants you to apologize. I don't. And I'm not going to apologize to you. You are off your nut. Nobody's damaging your car. Nobody's trying to kill you. Nobody's trying to, arrange a false arrest of you. The claims against you are legitimate, sir. I just linked you. to Mike Neely's fraud. Fraudulent trial. Fraud upon a court. Doesn't get any more fraud than what he had. I did it without you knowing it. But enough to where Myers had to ask me, are you a cop? Guess what? I can lie. If I was, I can lie. So what good does it do to ask me now? I couldn't do patrol. I fucking do Uber Eats and can't fucking find an address to save my life. My on-time delivery is like 10%. It's fucking, I have a hard time with that. I'd be driving around, fucking bank robbers would be in Mexico by the time I find the damn bank. So that's not my thing. I have my strengths and I have my weaknesses. And, I also can't handle the whole, oh, she went over there, and he went over here, and we went over there, and then she slapped him, and we slapped him back, and then we went over there, and then he stole my money, and I stole his money, and then we went to Taco Bell, and then we ordered tacos, and we ordered 5, we paid for 5, we get home with 3. That's why we called you. The day in the life of patrol, I can't even, God bless them. God bless them. That's just not my thing. I'm not a cop, but I'm something. And you fucked with the wrong people this time. You're pissing off the wrong people this time, Calvin. You shouldn't even know your name. You know how I know your name, Calvin? Because you run your mouth with the threats and the, get it back on that pole. Get her car. She's not going to mind. I'm going to cut her credit card. You're something. Oh my God, you are something. You're entitled, aren't you? I don't even know you. And you're all entitled. I don't even have words for that. You're fucking with the wrong people this time, Calvin. There's a whole big country of a whole lot of people and a whole lot of cops that don't know or care who the fuck you are. You guys call all over the place trying to find out who these guys are helping me. How did she find out? How did she find out? How did she find out? I hear that so many times. You had 6 years to have one guy or 2 guys come in and buy dances from me on a regular basis and not ask any weird ass questions like, how tall are you? What's your shoe size? Where do you live? What car do you drive? And gain my trust and get me relaxed and to open up. And you didn't do it. 6 years is a long time to fail at a sting op. You use one person and you get that one person to say fucking nothing. Just listen. And then people start talking. That's how I do it. Just let people talk. It'll come out by itself. 6 years you guys didn't get shit out of me. And I got a whole lot out of you, didn't I? I knew Terry worked for you, David, in the first 30 seconds I met him. I pretend I don't know. I'm good at what I do. I'm very good at what I do. This ain't about a date, Mr. Perry. This is about catching a bad guy slaying a fucking dragon. Because you go around hurting everybody. You come around and it's all miserable. And it's all problems. And it's all crisis. And it's all trouble. And it's all, oh God, we got to deal with that again. Do you know how many guys you come up here and they say, oh, Liz Taylor's coming back up. Those, Lubbock Liz. Son of a bitch. I got other shit to do today. I don't want to deal with that. Yeah. You don't walk in and make everybody feel sunshine and warm. You walk in and everybody wants to vomit. It's not that hard to get information, David, Calvin. When you make people feel feelings they don't like feeling, they're going to try to shut you down. Even if subconsciously. Even if subconsciously. And when you start working somebody's subconscious, you get what you need. I'm very, very, very fucking good at what I do. But as good as I am, my guys are a lot better. So when you talk to them over the next couple of weeks, have fun. Have fun. You've already talked to a couple of them, and you just didn't know it. Because as good as I am, sting up in Mitchell and Myers for Mike Neely, they're even better. When you make people feel sad and scared and worried and stressed out and anxious and all the negative emotions people try very hard to avoid feeling, and someone else comes around and says, you're going to be safe. You're going to be safe. We're putting a stop to it. You think you're going to get a conversation with me? You little girl bitch. You're off your nut. Unless you want to confess to murder, it's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. Murder of a police officer who you had his attorney ask me about emails because you wanted to send me home. It's dated 4/11/2018. I told Ted Hogan as soon as he picked me up from jail, it was all over the jail because you made people mad with that. This guy is awful, the other inmates said to me. He's going to send you home. They're going to make you think he's going to leave you alone. He's going to harass the fuck out of you. And when you complain about it, he's going to claim you're harassing him with an email about what he just did to you, or a tweet, or a Facebook. And he's probably going to tweet from your account. So if I were you, I'd get rid of your phone. And I did. Second I got home. Got rid of it, got a new one. That's what Mitchell said. I got all these emails from you and I don't have time to read them. Yeah, I sent you 5. I sent you 5. Because what I said is, these all have evidence attached. There's a whole lot more evidence than this, and I don't want to bog you down with emails, so I'm going to set up a Dropbox for you. And I did, and he didn't bother to look in it. Vigorous defense for his client. Fiduciary obligation fail. Right there. And we linked it to you, because nobody gives a fuck about that, Charles, but you. Random guy in Ohio doesn't. You implicate yourselves in everything you do. It is so easy, it's not even fair. Because you had 3 options. Had you not killed Lucky and framed Mike and tried to kill Mike? Had you not done that? You wouldn't give a fuck what I had to say about it. Kind of like the poison. Had you not poisoned me, you would have made sure there was a blood test. And you would have had a press conference and done a little dance, drama queen. See, she lied. I didn't poison her. But you made sure there was no test. Destroyed my evidence. That's a crime, sir. Obstructing justice, destruction of evidence. You're a criminal. You're a skank. You're disturbed. You're disturbing other people. And that's why it's so easy. It's not even fair. When you make people feel all the emotions they don't like feeling, and someone else comes along and makes them feel good emotions, safe. You're safe now. We're putting a stop to it. He can't hurt you anymore. It's not that hard. You don't have empathy. You're trying to run a race with no feet, and everybody else has feet. So you can't figure this out. You haven't been able to do it yet. You had 3 choices. Be dismissive when I started saying I think they did it. I think they did that murder and framed Mike. You can't beat somebody to death and have nothing on you. It's not possible. This police report, 21st, ended up in your hands, and now everybody's mad about it. I hadn't said anything about it. Didn't ask who did that to me. Did I? 9 days later, you have me arrested for filing a false police report in retaliation for your job as a public servant. We think you're a little bit mentally slow and don't know what your job as a public servant even is. It's not stalking women. Produce the evidence of a political vendetta. And how do you prove a police report is false if you don't give it time to be investigated, sir? Now you guys call on TPD. Oh, just get her on him. We're going to frame her for a murder. Just get her on that. They didn't even call me back. You interfered with the chain of custody of evidence. I lost my video evidence. I lost my blood evidence. Where's my blood test, Mr. Perry? To show that police report was false. And that it was over politics. You're so not relevant politically. I wish you knew how not relevant you are. Your delusion is outrageous. The thing is about delusion is you see things everyone else does not see. That's what the doctor told me when you were trying to make that claim about me. But see, I had the McNamara email. He's gonna arrange a false arrest to subjugate me. Coercion. And then he did it. So you can't say I'm crazy if I'm telling everybody months before he's gonna arrange a false arrest, and then you did. The allegation was false report. But where's my blood test to show it was a false report, Mr. Perry? Where's the video from my work that night? Huh? Produce the fucking evidence, delusional. So I come back and I call a doctor and I'm like, I need you to evaluate me because they're trying to say I'm delusional and I'm not. Here's what happened. He goes, well, I have to have the video evidence because the way I diagnose delusion is we both look at the video, you tell me what you see. And if you see something I don't see, then you're delusional. But since they destroyed it, my guess is you're not. Yeah, they did. They failed to preserve it. No intention of going to trial. We're just going to subjugate and intimidate her. It's not about that. She didn't actually commit a crime. We're not going to go to trial. We just need her to lie. And I've said all these years, you have fucked with me and fucked with me and fucked with me and fucked with me and fucked with me, trying to make me submit. And I have not done it. I've said no. No. No means no. Do you not understand words said to you? Do you need a special education teacher to help you understand what no, leave me alone means? I think you do. I think you fucking do. I think you're that slow, mentally. I think you're that mentally slow. If you have power, go fucking get a date with a woman by not having to hold her at gunpoint just because she likes you and she wants you back. Because I don't. I don't think you have power. I think you're just a pathetic little girl. I think you're a pathetic little girl. So, there's that you did to me. And while I'm in jail, my guys get me that. And you know who can do that. But that's who you piss off every time you fuck with me, David and Calvin. You had 6 years to figure out who they are. You couldn't do it. And they got me that. It's not legal, but I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures that out. Who told me that, Mr. Perry? Maybe it was David's people leaking. He had them all over me. So you had 3 choices and how to react to my allegations that maybe it looked to me like you did the same thing to Mike Neely that you did to me. Poison them. When they don't die, we'll arrange a false arrest. Because there is no fucking way you'll look like that and had beat someone to death. So you had 3 choices. Don't react, be dismissive, and just don't dignify it with a reaction. Or number 2, come out and say, we are for our police. She's right. There's nothing on that guy. Something's wrong. But it wasn't us, so let's find out who did this. Or get Mitchell and Myers to try to get me on a harassment. Make up some harassment thing. I got all these emails, Mr. Mitchell says. Wow, I sent you 5. And then I said I don't want to bog you down with emails, so I gave you a Dropbox file. So why didn't you look in it, Mr. Mitchell? I thought you were supposed to vigorously defend your client. I thought that's what his assertion in court for his client was. My client got drunk, sat on Lucky Miller, caused strangulation, blunt force trauma to the head, and internal decapitation. Wow, no man on the planet has ever done such a thing. That is something. With his ass, while asleep. Internal decapitation, blunt force trauma to the head, that the doctor said from being hit. Back and forth and hit, back and forth. Because he's got, how do you explain, there's nothing on his fucking hands. Nothing. The arrest report. So, I don't know who said this, but this guy was brilliant. He shows them a picture. He shows them a picture of, well, I don't have time to do it right now. Here's a picture of her son who was in a fight. Look at his face. It's all bruised up. Now, point out for me on him where it looks like any marks, any injuries, anything at all, looks like he is in a fight. There's nothing there. He's got a needle in his right hand. Then he said, here's the arrest report. Read the arrest report, which lists off what his injuries are on the arrest report. What it says is he had a busted lip from a second event. Hotel John throws him face first into the floor when he comes in and pulls him off Lucky. And a right swollen red hand. Red swollen right hand. That's the only injuries on the arrest report. It's got a needle in it. That's why it's red and swollen. He would have had broken fingers. He'd have bruised knuckles. He'd have look like he was in a fight. And he doesn't. So what you could have said is, she's correct. There's nothing there. But we didn't do it, so we got to find out who did. Kind of like, I didn't give her poison, so let's test her blood and show that. Instead of, let's make sure she can't get tested. Let's obstruct justice and then make her sit in a cell, illegally detained for 2 months while that works its way out of her system. And try to make it look like she's crazy Forensic science, sir, is objective. Somebody's mental status is somewhat subjective. Forensic science is going to tell you, draw the blood, let's see if there's arsenic in it. That's objective. It's a fact. There is or there isn't. Instead of, let's try to make her look crazy, let's have her evaluated for, see if we can get a shrink to get her to say just the wrong thing in just the wrong way and make that work. And it didn't work, did it? You guys are something. Or your third option was witness tamper, try to coerce, try to subjugate, try to arrange another false arrest for me, try to keep the victim quiet. But then you re-offend and there's more victims. You don't know who else talking to my guys, do you? Yeah, see, you don't know who else talking to my guys. So this was the question. Did Lucky go to the strip club? He did, and you knew that. You just wanted me to say what we talked about while he was in there. But now I'm hearing he was supposed to just come and see if I was confirmed that that's where I worked. Nobody knew he was going to have this conversation with her. Oh, God. And he did. He did have a conversation with me. I got called up on the stage. Mike comes back from the bathroom and they left. It wasn't very long. Doesn't take that long to say, did you sign a marriage license? No. So this is a forgery. Yeah. Yeah, we're upset about you're broke all the fucking time. Right. They run off all my customers. Run off my $10,000 and give me 30. My little canned food. Here, we give you the canned food. So we can say that we gave. Hitler did the same thing. Took away all the Jews, everything they worked for all their lives. Ripped families apart, put them in a housing. He provided housing and food. Woefully inadequate housing and food. But he can say he gave. You're embarrassing me, Mr. Perry. You're embarrassing me. You can talk to police on the phone, sir. That's what I said right here. You can talk to police on the phone. So, when you fuck with me, David, Calvin, try to subjugate, you piss everybody off. Mr. Perry, every time you contact me, it makes me want to throw up. I hate you. There's no chance of a date with me, ever. No way. You have to be normal to ride this ride. And you can't do normal for 5 minutes. You have to be a man. I like men, guys. Like Fabian, who worked very hard. Our shrink tells the judge, she's flat told him over and over and over what she's attracted to in men and what repulses her in men. What's a turnoff? You're a turnoff, sir. It's like that's what you want to be. You try as hard as you can to turn everybody off. Women don't like peeping toms. It's weird. You're weirdo. Women don't like men that make problems. We like men who come in and resolve them. You're recorded, I'm going to take her car, then she'll call. Nope, that's not what's going to happen. That's not what's going to... I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen. You won't like it. If we can get what you just said, do you like that? Okay, well, there's a lot of things we can do. A lot of things we can do, but you're seeing things happen you've not seen before, right? So, when you contact me, when you cause a problem for me, when you cause drama and hardship for me, you piss off all the wrong people, and you're getting caught and told on, and 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 nobody's helping you, really. For the first time, that's not happened to you. It's happening now, Calvin. I don't know you, sir, but you pissed off me and everybody that I know that matters. I don't like Charles Perry. He's not good enough for me. He's a creepster. Perry, if other guys don't do what you do and they can get a date, maybe you ought to put it together in your head that what you're doing is not how you get a date. You're very mentally slow, and that irritates the shit out of me. I have to be with somebody that's intellectually challenging, and you're not. You're slow. And we have to repeat ourselves like you got Alzheimer's, and you still don't get it. And I can't stand it. I can't stand it. If there were no weird sex weirdo problem, there's that. I can't stand it. Won't do it. I will not do it. You embarrass the shit out of me with that. One time is how much I say it, because I have been around a lot of really cool, intelligent, sharp men all my life. You can't even begin to compete with that, with anything I've been around. You can't. So leave me alone. I do not want to have a conversation with you. I don't. If you want to confess to Lucky's murder and framing Mike, let's do it. Call Captain Gimpy. Since you guys like calling TPD and ordering them around, get on the murder. Why don't you call one of them and order an interview with me where you can confess? Alright? Otherwise, I'm not going to talk to you. It's not going to happen. I don't like you. I do not want to talk to you, and you're not entitled to anything. You are breaking the law, and you're breaking it badly. Badly. And you're getting caught. When you fuck with me, you get caught. Over and over and over and over and over. And a 6-year-old could have figured out the cause and effect after the 3rd time that happened. And here we are 6 years into it, and you still don't get it. When you fuck with me, sir, you get caught. You get caught. You get caught. You get caught every fucking time. I mean, I've not seen this, because there are people like that. They can get me that. These texts are to Fabian. Not about politics, by the way. This was in October, right after David Roberson came in and said, "Why don't you like Charles?" Because he's a weirdo, David. I don't do weirdo. You got to be normal to ride this ride, David. And that whole Fabian thing, was not cool. And he goes, "Fabian doesn't want you." I go, "Yep, you're not Fabian's spokesperson. As it turns out, he's a grown-ass man. He can speak for himself. So I got to hear that from him." He says, "Actually, he just wanted to fuck you." Great. Let us fucking get this over with. How are you guys dragging this out for? And he goes, "Actually, the 2 men fought over you for months. I go, "There's not a fight. I don't want Charles Perry anywhere near me. So it's not a decision between those two that they can fight over. It's my decision who I want in my life, and it will never be Charles Perry. I want Fabian, not Charles. You guys get the fuck off me. Get out. Get the hell out." They chose not to, and so they get caught and told on and caught and told on more than ever in their lives. That was their choice. That's what they want. It seems like that's their goal. Perry, when you contact me, motherfucker, it pisses me the hell off. I don't want to hear from you. I don't. Fabian is a grown man. And then when I get back, I heard you telling him on a recording, Perry, I'm going to find a way to put her back in jail. She's not going to get out this time unless she's with me. You need to give up. He goes, "You're trying to force her into something she doesn't want to do." Exactly. Get the fuck off me, rapist. Get the fuck off me, rapist. You guys are a big ball of misery, and my guys come in going, "We're going to make you safe. We're working on it now." That's why they get caught all the time. It's not that hard to get information, and you guys love running your mouths. Look what we can do and get away with. But not this time, right? Not this time, right? These are texts I sent about what David said the night before. I'm sorry, not the night before. The night he came in, dated October. There it is. Okay, so then when I get to jail, and these guys give me that in jail, Perry. They heard what I said the first time. I don't want Charles. He's a butt-in Bertha. Yuck. I want Fabian. He works hard. He's normal. You gotta be normal to ride this ride. That's what I want. Those are my wishes. It's my choice. Nobody owes you a date. Nobody owes you a conversation. When you start forcing yourself on a woman against her will, it's just rape. What form does it take? Is it physical? Is it visual? Is it what? What? It's rape culture. The guy said it. If you have power, then go fucking find a date, bitch. Or shut up about having power. And you guys with keeping me out of court. Everybody's on to you on that too. What does she have on them that they won't let? Because when you hear her talk, you can tell she's got something on these guys. They don't want her saying all that stuff she says in podcasts in court. Be a man. Stop being a bunch of little pussy cowards. Face me like men in court the regular way, instead of doing all this illegal crap that you keep getting caught on for the first time in your lives. You're not fooling anybody. I want a list of people that you think you're fooling. I want a list of names of people you think you're fooling. Because my guess is when I talk to them, you're not fooling them at all. They're saying what you want to hear, so you'll shut up and go away and stop wasting everybody's time. Stop wasting everybody's time. When you contact me, in any form at all, Perry, or David, or Calvin, or anybody, when you bother me, when you cause a problem, when you cause strife and conflict, stress and anxiety, loss, hardship, my guys that got me that go at you like motherfuckers. And then we know what you just said. And when we get what you just said and it gets from somewhere where you are to police and they give it to me, is that the goal? Because it seems like it is. That's power, Perry. Power's in service. Relieving suffering caused by crime. Dragon slaying. You've hurt people and everybody's pissed about it. Get a life and move on. Get a life, Perry. I don't want you in mine. I'm not going to talk to you about it. I said no, period. That's it. I don't owe you an explanation. No one does. You owe Jacqueline Perry an explanation as to why you would betray her the way that you have. What are you doing with your time? That's the conversation that needs to happen, sir. One with your wife where you owe her an explanation. I don't owe you shit. So, please, leave me the fuck alone.